owns a city, who takes our homes, use legislations and bankers' loans. They'll make a city no young or old, pushed out for profit, the search for gold. Take a hand, we'll make a stand.
We want to go down to his office, we'll go to his office and we'll sit there and we'll say, you call the new owner right now and see what she says about coming down to meet us right now. You know, that way it would put more pressure on it. If he calls the new owner and, you know, he might say, oh, well, she wasn't there or something like that. But, you know, somebody has to say,
no, she's out of town. She's, of course, out of town right now.
Right.
The new owner is on a vacation all of a sudden. You know, that's what's going to happen, or something similar.
A confrontation was avoided by giving the tenants a 6-month lease.
That's where I used to live, right here. 20th and Bryant, the courts, we used to call it. I used to live on the top floor. This was always mostly just working people. Just working people with all of these factories that used to be here in the city. This used to be a labor town. And all the labor people used to be in these neighborhoods. My friend Don, my son's godfather, used to live in this building right here. And they had to get out of there because the rent went too high. Another friend of mine owned that building. He moved out of there because his father sold that building. This corner house right here, my grandmother lives in. Right there. She's having trouble with rent right now.
After that, in '78, I've never been back to San Francisco. I've never been back. Living in this apartment for 10 years now. I have a wonderful landlord. I also ended up on housing. After all the homelessness and everything, the last and final time was at the Mission Bell. They were getting ready to tear it down. And they had families in there, a lot of families that could not afford rents around here. They were so ridiculous. And we ended up getting emergency housing because of the school that my kids were at. So now I can afford to live somewhere. My daughter works at In-N-Out, but she's also putting herself through the Academy of Art University, you know, and so she's the one that's really paying the bills here. One thing I learned in all my years is if you keep your mouth shut and you sit back, you won't benefit from anything. You can make a difference.
Down speculation road. Down speculation road.